In his first story, Angela was stuck between believing her mother, Angie, or her boyfriend, Marion. You see, Angie accused Marion of molesting Angela's daughter, and since then, Angela's family was at each other's throats. Take a look.
She stands in the middle of the floor and she looks at me and she said, "Mommy, stick in my mouth." And just by the way it sounded to me, Steve, I turned off everything in my house, fans, TV, everything. And I said, "What did you say, baby?" She said, "Cardo stuck."
She said, who did this?
Cardo. She calls my Marion Cardo.
Okay.
And I said, "Well, when did this happen, babe?" She says, "At my grandma's house. When we go to my mom's house to pick up my kids after I got off work, he doesn't even get out the car to go in there just because of the type of things that my mom says to him, you know?"
She doesn't like him?
She doesn't like him. You know, she says a lot of things to me to try to get me away from him. And for 3 days, she said this to me. When Marion came home, I called him at work after she said this to me and I put her to bed. I called him at work and I said, "When you get off work, you come straight home, you know. When he comes home, we're going at it." Because I'm like, my daughter is not saying this for nothing, you know. The next day, the next morning, I take her and I take Marion in the room and we sit down and I asked her again, I said, "Baby, tell Doe what you told Mama." And she looks over and she smiles and she said, "Cardo, put." And the only question he had for her, he said, "Did somebody tell you to say that about Doe?"
Just so I'm perfectly clear, you're dating Marion.
Yes, this is my fiance.
And this is who you're thinking that she's saying did this to her?
Yes.
Okay.
And so she's sitting there and he asks her, he says, "Well, did somebody tell you to say that about Doe?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Who told you to say that, baby?" She said, "Cardo." I let a few weeks go by because I'm asking questions, Steve, and she's just like, kind of like she's confused about it, you know? And I don't want to confuse her. I want her to come to me on her own time because she's
And just
3.
so we know, she's a very young girl. She's 4 years old, so.
She was 3 at the time when she came. It was a week before her 4th birthday.
Yeah, so very young girl.
Yes. My mom comes and picks us up, and we're in the car. I didn't say anything to her about it, nothing. My daughter comes to the front seat, and she smiles in my mom's face, and she didn't even look at the other party that was sitting in the passenger side. She looks at my mom, and she says, "Cardo stuck," smiles and runs to the back seat with the rest of the kids. And instantly, my mom gets to banging on the wheel, and she says, "I knew it, I knew it, I knew it." And I said, "What did you know?" You know, and I'm in tears now. I'm like, "What did you know?" She said, "She came to me 3 weeks ago about something like that. She said something about a stick." I said, "Why wouldn't you tell me this? This is my child. Why wouldn't you tell me this?" Another biological family member of mine, she said, took her to the basement. I said, "Baby, why didn't you scream? Why didn't you call for help?" She said, "Because he had a belt and he hit me and he told me that he was gonna whoop me." I said, "So what happened?" She gets to explain to me that he took her into the basement. He threatened her with the belt. He said, she says that everything she's telling me, she's acting it out, Steve, so I know that.
And this happened at your mother's house?
At my mother's house. Nothing in her story changed but a name, Steve. And, you know, I asked her, I said, "Well, babe, what did he do to you?" And she said, "He told me to say, why didn't you tell somebody?" She said, "Mommy, I did. I told my grandma." My mama never told me that, but she admitted it to me in that car. So that's why I'm like, I believe my daughter. I don't believe.
You believe something happened to her?
I know something happened to her. She said, "I'm sorry, Mama, I'm sorry." And I told her, "Baby, you have nothing to be sorry about because this happened to you, and whoever did it to you, they were wrong, not you."
When I first heard the story, my granddaughter came to me in my bedroom after you dropped him off and said, "Granny, somebody put," I couldn't understand what she was saying, but I got stick. I didn't know the other word, but I got stick.
Why wouldn't you come to me and say anything like that? Because 3 weeks freaking later.
So when you came to get him that night, I did tell you that she said something about a stick. And I said, "Baby, you don't put sticks." I told you that.
Mama, you didn't say nothing
3
about
weeks
that
later,
until we were sitting in the
you
car
called
and
to me.
she said that
You called
to
and you said, "I need to talk to you, Mama." You needed to talk to me. So when I came, and my granddaughter said what she said to me that time.
If you hadn't told me that my daughter said something like that to you, "These are my kids," are you trying to tell me that I don't love my kids?
I believe something happened to her.
Right, I do too. Do you believe it could be anyone other than Marion?
I don't put nothing past no man.
There you go. Are you coaching your granddaughter at all to say anything against Marion?
No.
Boy, Steve, I would be bringing my daughter in, going to work, and she would ask my daughter.
I would say this. That was the worst no I've ever heard on my show.
I'm sorry.
She wasn't questioning.
You're a liar,
I would.
and you're evil. And you're trying to do this to our family? You're trying to break up our family?
Your
You've
family?
never been nothing but a provider
Your family,
and a
this
father
is my
figure to this
family.
girl.
What? Y'all need to be together.
We don't.
Every time.
We don't. Do you see that? Do you see
Angie,
that? Do you
she
see
said it
that? Do
happened
y'all
at your
see
house.
this?
At your
I see
house.
what
She gave
I
your
love you.
name.
I want to
At
be
your
with.
house.
But you know what? When she said the right name, that's when my baby broke down. That's when not one time when she said this man's name did she break down,
I ain't
okay?
trying to
Not
destroy
one
that.
time did she cry.
You're wrong.
Did
It's
she
gonna
did she
stop
hold her
today.
head down? Steve? None of that. But when she said this family member's name, this is exactly what my baby did, y'all. She stuck her head down and she started crying.
Did you molest Angela's daughter?
No.
No. Do you believe the little girl was molested?
I don't know, Steve.
I mean, because you
think-
must have been there at some point when she was questioning her.
Yeah, the way she was, it seemed like it was coached to me.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And I wouldn't doubt if it was coached. I really believed it was coached, just because of the way she came with it. And like she said, she came in.
And she might have been coached, but it also could have happened.
Right.
And when somebody's coaching somebody, it could be taking the heat off somebody else.
Right.
Right. And you're saying if he fails today, I just got to put it out there, you're done with him, you said.
It's going. It's
It'll be done. Did your granddaughter tell you that Marion sexually molested her? You answered yes. Do you know for sure who sexually molested your granddaughter? You answered no. The results for both your questions came back the same, and they came back that you, Angie, told the truth.
You're my baby, baby.
Marion came here because he is accused of sexually molesting Angela's daughter. And we asked him, have you ever sexually molested Angela's 4-year-old daughter? Have you ever sexually molested Angela's 4-year-old daughter? He answered no. And the results for Marion's lie detector test is that he told the truth.
Thank you so much. You fixed my life. Thank you.